I'm Ron and I'm back again, you know already, with another classic RSR. Tonight I am reviewing Toronto FC versus Portland Timbers from August 12, 2017. The Toronto FC game of the week. Toronto FC wins 4-1 on the night with a great offensive performance and a lackluster defensive performance, which we'll talk about that later. Let's get into the goals first. Then I'll talk about what I thought about the offense and defense. Then we will end the video. So, in the 57th minute, Justin Morrow, the ball falls to him in the box. He takes the shot, roofs it, scores, makes it 1-0 for Toronto FC. Then in the 72nd minute, Victor Vasquez has the ball crossed to him in the box. He shoots. He's right at the center of the box. He shoots, taps it in. It's 2-0 TFC. Then in the 75th minute, Justin Morrow, Josie overruns the ball, it gets passed to him, but he was offside, but he gets pushed off of it, but Morrow is right there to take the shot, put it in, score, 3-0, and then in the 86th minute, Marky Delgado makes a run right behind Toussaint Ricketts. Toussaint Ricketts gets tackled. The ball is still there. Marky Delgado is right there. Quick, shoots, and scores to make it 4-0. Thank God we re-signed Marky. We needed to. That was a good decision by Ali Curtis. Yeah, I'm going to throw a little bit of news in here, even though I was going to talk about it tomorrow. But, hey, it's called hindsight. It's classic. Hindsight's 2020, my friends. That's what it is. Then, in the 89th minute, Diego Valeri has a solo run past like 4 Toronto FC defenders after a turnover from TFC passing the ball. Valeri shoots, he puts it past Bono, scores to make it 4-1, but that wasn't really that bad. We already had won the game by then, crazily enough. Why? Because the defense was trash, especially in the first half. It was really easy that we could have been 2-0 down by the half. Really. Hagelin getting hurt, Moore not being there, and the back line for most of the match being Hernandez, Zavaleta, and Mavinga probably had a lot to do with it. But, even though Zavaleta was actually good in 2017, but still, have to use that agenda a little bit, don't you know? Even though he was actually good in 2017, so I don't know why I came after him like that. Whatever. He was a good player back in 2017. Still made mistakes, but not to the same level he does now. But still, Hernandez, Mavinga, Zavaleta, that's a pretty back line. So I'm surprised it wasn't 2-0 at the half, because Portland had their chances. They had their chances, and they missed, or it got saved, luckily. Probably could have been 3-0 right out of the half, but it would have been, yeah, how crazy would it have been had it been 4-4 instead of 4-1? Like, that's what that performance kind of really deserved, but the offense was like, whatever. We're going to kick into gear in the second half, and we're lucky they didn't score 2 or 3. So, yeah, the offense basically made this game look like a shellacking when really, it wasn't. It wasn't at all. That's the thing about this game. It's like, and you could say, but a win's a win is a win. Sure, I agree. A win is a win is a win. But then you get into the idea of, hey, look at it like this. That defense was bad. Oh, look at it like this, but the offense was great. I guess offense wins games, but defense wins championships. Now, you could say, sure, that's the way it happened. Didn't need defense in this game. Yeah, we were top of the East, and we really didn't need defense in the game. We just got lucky they missed their best chances. So, true, but hey, what can you do? I guess that's why football's a game of margins. Football's a game of margins. Maybe that's why. It's a woulda, coulda, shoulda thing. If they had put in 2 goals and then put in that header in the second half, it would have been 4-4, and it would have been just a point. and it would have knocked our record down by 2 points. Unless we picked up those points after. But mostly it was the early season struggles that probably put our points total lower than it should have been. But, yeah. So, think about it. It could have easily been a 4-4 tie. A 4-4 draw instead of a 4-1 win. Easily. Because if they would have got the 3 goals that I thought they could have gotten out of those 3 really good chances, Portland, Valeri would have still scored. Now you could say, but Toronto may not have been as careless to give away that ball that Valeri ended up scoring. And you could be right. We could have won the game 4-3 instead of 4-1. But still, what do you want? A 4-1 win that looks menacing and looks like a shellacking? Or a 4-4 draw that really kind of what we deserved in that match? Or a 4-3 win that you barely grind out, but you're a little bit more to the grindstone because you can't just be like, hey, it was 4-0 and it was just an accidental turnover, and yeah, these things happen. If the turnover didn't happen, 4-3 win instead of a 4-4 draw, but it still wouldn't have been a 4-1 win. So, thinking about it like that, and then you could still say, a win's a win is a win. And hell, a draw is still not a loss. Sure, but even the players weren't happy with a win. If you look at what Morrow said earlier today about this match, they weren't happy. Vanny didn't like celebrate this win much. He was like, yeah, you won. But wasn't that good of a game. Now, does that show you what mentality the 2017 team had? Yes, probably. I guess it does. But, well, it does. It's not a guess thing. It does. Like, it shows you what mentality they had. Like, if you ask the 2019 team if they had a win like that, if they had that win, they would be probably flipping out. Now, I love the 2019 team. It has a special place in my heart because of what I've done on YouTube over that year and all the stuff I've accomplished around that season. It does have a good special place in my heart, and that playoff run as well. But if you give them that 4-1 win, they'd be like, oh yeah, that was amazing. That was amazing. We didn't give up a goal until the 89th stoppage time. That was amazing. Even though we shouldn't have gave up that goal, we still won 4-1. We still shellacked them. That's the difference. Now ask the 2020 team. What would you get out of them? Now, they weren't happy about that 2-2 draw against San Jose, that they were winning up until the last second, but they did lose 2 points there. Honestly, with this game, we gained 2 points. So even then, give this game to the 2020 squad, I don't know how they would have reacted. Now, do they have revenge on the mind like 2017 did? Probably. But does this team have the same mentality? The current team? I don't know. And now you're asking me why. Why are you comparing 2019 to these 2017 games? Or 2020? I think I may have accidentally said 2019. Whatever. 2020. I guess you could also compare 2019 to them. Same team, basically. The reason why I'm doing this is because, just think about it. It makes me put this into perspective. How crazy 2017 was. Because you see that Toronto's still a great team. Not saying we aren't. We're still a great team. We still are great. But are we that great? And you could say, but... And the fact that New York and LA have topped that record 2 years in a row, even though they haven't won a treble or a cup in those 2 years, so we're still technically the best team ever, that 2017 team. It looks like it's a yearly thing that point record gets broken. Okay. 3 years in a row. Okay. Maybe that takes it out of perspective. Now, not everybody wins a treble, but the points record is still something, you know? It's still like, oh my God, they were so good. This team was unbeatable. If you could break the points record like that, oh my, you are unbeatable. That's something special. And since there have been 3 successive seasons of the points record being broken, even though we were the only ones to win a treble, so we're still technically the best MLS team ever because we didn't bottle anything. And we got to the Champions League final as well with that same core and injuries. Yeah, we still are the best MLS team over those Red Bulls and those LAFC players. That LAFC. But look at it like this. Maybe a little bit biased, but look at it like this. If you compare 2017 with 2020, does 2020 have that same never say die, never accept anything but the best mentality? I don't know. Because that game against New York City FC that was played right before the shutdown, right before the postponement, I look at it like, you know what? This team may have a little bit of an acceptance for something that really isn't the best. As long as they get the points, especially a win, they're happy. They go by, 2020 to me looks like a team that goes by the saying, a win's a win is a win, and hell, a draw is not a loss either. But especially, a win is a win is a win. All right. Fair play. If you can do the same thing as 2017 with having that mindset, great. In less games because of the postponement, unless they're going to try to play all 32 that didn't get played with a lot of midweeks and stuff and still win the Leagues Cup. And if there is a Canadian Championship, win that and go into Champions League and win the MLS Cup. If you can do all that, great. I'm not complaining. If you could use that mindset and still do the same things or better that 2017 did, great. I have no problem with that. I have no problem with that whatsoever. But the thing with that mindset is that it's just not the same. It's just not the same. 2020 team has a lot of talent. What happens when we have a team that gets rotated? That's the problem. Because if Vaney rotates teams, which especially with this coronavirus postponement, it's going to happen. There will be more rotations than you want. That's when we get to the problem. They don't really have the talent that our main 11, main 12, main 13 do. If you throw out Io Akinola, Endo, and Schaffelberg on the wing, only really Pozuelo and Bradley is your big stars in the team. Maybe just Pozuelo with Mavinga and Zavaleta and Lorea and De Leon, and then Delgado's still going to be in there because that's Vaney's ride or die, and Oso in the midfield. Or Delgado instead of Bradley. Then you got the 4, Delgado, Pozuelo, Oso, or just Delgado, Pozuelo, Bradley, and then Endo, Akinola, Schaffelberg, or God forbid, Patrick Mullins at striker. If they played a Chara, I think we'd be a lot better off, but I'm just using a lineup that I think would be one of those lineups that are like, you really don't want to see. Like Houston 3-0, or Dallas 3-0 last year, or losing to Houston with a skeleton crew in 2018, or the 1-0 Dallas at home in 2018. I can go down the list. That's a team I don't want to see fielded. Because when we play teams that we rotate, when we rotate the team, it never ends well. Ever since that Columbus 2017 game that I talked about last week, it never ends well. It never has when we rotate a team. And the strikers for that 2017 team against Columbus, again, need I remind you, Toussaint Ricketts and Ben Spencer. No Javinko, no Altidore, and we somehow won that game 5-0. And we can't do that now? I think that's the mentality. I think it's up to the mentality thing. The teams since then have never had that mentality of never say die. Fight for only the best. Nothing less than the best. That mentality had us win that game 5-0 with Ben Spencer and Toussaint Ricketts, but especially Ben Spencer up top. Give this team that type of lineup, against Columbus, even though Columbus is worse now than they were in 2017. If we win, it's going to be like 3-2. It just won't work. Like, the mentality they have now works. But that's if every starter minus 1 or 2 is on the pitch. Somebody like an Achara is awesome for the team. He's like one of the top 15. But if you don't have like your top 15 on the pitch, you ain't going... It's not obvious. The win is not obvious. Or even a result. That's the painful games. Those are the games that this mentality just doesn't have a good chance of winning, like that never say die mentality. That's the thing. Toronto has a different mentality now. Yes, they're just as good. Yes, they have the talent. Yes. But the mentality is different. I don't see the never say die, nothing less than the best mentality out of 2020. They celebrated that 1-0 win against New York, even though we should have scored more. Because Josie couldn't buy a goal. Achara had the offside goal. There should have been a pen. There should have been more goals. Yes, they played well. But 1-0, and I was clenching the whole time. To me, you really shouldn't be celebrating that like it's some massive achievement. Yeah, it's a home opener win, but really? Yeah. There's a different mentality in this 2020 team that 2017 had a better mentality. It's just something I've realized over this quarantine time with all these matches of the week. That's just what it is. I've noticed it. That's what it is. That's all it is. So, if you like this video, like it, share, subscribe. You know what it is. Tell all your friends. Tomorrow, I'm going to talk about Delgado staying with Toronto FC because we need to talk about it. I'm Ron and I'm out. Peace.